I think we are live. Man, it is a tough decision, tough task. Yep, we are live. Let me see myself. It is telling me that this meeting may be live streaming. I am the one who is live streaming this, buddy. Top chat is saying 0. Pradeep inside. Devon Gasparini already in the house. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Simon, let's go. Yes, the first time it was flickering. So before we start talking, so if any of you is watching this live stream after it has already ended, please watch it at increased speed, 1.25 or maybe 1.5x speed. So you can watch the entire live stream without missing anything and save that time while doing that. Sab the Beehive. Hello, brother. So let's first talk about some current news. Engin Terzi has announced that he will be hosting another East versus West event, which is going to be East versus West 3 in early part of August this year. And he has already announced 2 super matches. First one is Dave Chaffee versus Gennady Kvikvinia, the rematch from 2018. And second one is Prudnik versus Todd Hutchings, yet another rematch. They have never faced each other in a super match, but we can say that it is a rematch because Prudnik has 1 pin over Todd Hutchings. So Timmy Turner, hi brother. Pradeep inside. Let's go. Aries, Devon Gasparini, Italian power. So is the video good? I'm going live from Zoom. If any of you want to join, Sab the B, if you want to join, Devon wants to see your face. So first I was trying to go live with just my YouTube and it was flickering really bad. I was 4 minutes late because of that. Then I thought I should go live. Let's see if that can work itself out when I go live, but no, it didn't. It was still flickering. So if any of you wants to join, I am more than happy to invite you. Prudnik wins, Dave wins. Yes, this is also my feeling, my prediction as well, Aries. I think that Prudnik has to be the favorite in this match. And Dave Chaffee also. I can see that Dave Chaffee is going to top roll Gennady Kvikvinia. Timmy Turner. So what else do we have? I forgot to mention that in one of my videos that Corey West versus Krasimir Kostadinov is going to happen on 23rd April right-handed, and Corey West is going to face Carl Stanley left-handed on the same day, 23rd of April. Earlier, Corey was supposed to face Michaelo, but then Michaelo had a back surgery, so he couldn't attend the match, and that is why Krasimir Kostadinov. What a badass replacement. I think this is going to be a war because Todd Hutchings defeated Krasimir Kostadinov in a super match. I believe he can still do that. I would like to assume so. But Krasimir has a great defensive hook. Like you will never see Todd sitting here. You can see Todd sitting here like this with a broken wrist, but you will never see Todd with a bicep lock like that. So even if Corey puts him there, still Krasimir Kostadinov can fight back. So let's see how that goes. What are your predictions about Corey West versus Krasimir Kostadinov? Please let me know. Carlos, okay, here we go. If Prudnik top rolls, he sweeps. Will be similar to Zoloev match. If I go to the streaming software, yes, I can do that, I think. Yep. Is the video quality good? It does look like the image. Okay, it is still showing the previous one. I don't think it is going to work out. No matter, I'll read from the phone itself. If Prudnik top rolls, he sweeps will be similar to Zoloev match. Okay, I'm on stand down at work. Basically means I'm not working, but I'm at work because they don't want me to leave. Okay, which is good if you are getting paid, which is good. Chaffee beat Gennady, not too exciting, I believe. Okay, but Gennady believes that he is stronger than ever. He believes that he can do something. Devon Gasparini is tagging Engin Terzi's channel. Guys, Engin Terzi is a legend. We already know that. But there are 2 things that we don't know yet. Possibly, maybe one thing we already know, that Engin Terzi is going to be promoter of the year 2022. Second thing that I think nobody knows right now is Engin Terzi is going to be the YouTuber of the year 2022. I am quite sure about that. Like, look at his channel, the views he's getting after that East versus West event. The man is just talking with the camera and getting over 20,000 views every video. Even his live streams are getting 20,000 views. That is just insane. He's already getting near Devon Larratt numbers. I'm quite surprised, shocked. Is the video good, guys? Please let me know. Hey man, please say PUBG Mobile with the thickest Indian accent you got. PUBG Mobile. This is what we call it. I don't know how you pronounce it. What is your name? I cannot read your name. Hey man, please say, is this your name? That's great. Krazi looked underwhelming after Vitali. I expect West to take it barely. Master Pronator, okay? Krazi beat Corey. Okay, 2 power and experience for the American. We are getting different opinions. Timmy Turner, Pradeep, which female super match would you be interested in apart from Sarah versus Gabriella? To be honest, I'm still learning about female arm wrestling. Like in the past 1 year, I've learned a lot about European arm wrestling. More than a year ago, I knew nothing about European arm wrestling. Very little, like all the big names like Zoloevs, Pushkar, Siplenkovs, Arsens. I knew about them from the beginning, but I'm learning. So female super match that I would like to see. Right now, I cannot tell you any name. Like Engin was mentioning Ekaterina versus, I don't know what the other girl's name was. If Engin was saying that, maybe if you can give me some names, then I can say. But right now, I am not looking forward to any female match. Maybe a rematch between, but those are two Swedish girls. It doesn't make much sense if Fia fights with Malin Kleinsmith over there again. Sab the Bee saying, I think Krasimir wins. He may lose one, but Corey has no endurance. Krasimir will tire out Corey. This is also how I believe that match is going to go, because I think Corey is going to put him there, but Krasimir's defense will be really good. Todd Hutchings' offense is far better than Krasi, I would assume, but Krasimir's defense can be better than Todd Hutchings. East versus West, king of the table, arm wars. Good time to be arm wrestling fan. Like everything was down in 2020, 2021. We started to see a lot of matches by the end of 2021, and 2022 is amazing. Video is good. Okay, Mark's music man. Okay, thank you very much, brother. Very good info channel on arm wrestling, Pradeep. Esle Luras, thank you very much, brother. And I'm really shocked. Like my channel is also getting really good. I've gotten over 1100 subscribers in last 30 days, last 28 days, and almost all the videos that I'm uploading getting more than 5,000-6,000 views. Really amazed. Very good info channel on arm wrestling. Okay, Engin is the man. I love Engin, and so does everyone else. Video is great, Pradeep. Thank you very much. My thoughts for Vitali versus Kurdecha is whoever get the good side, the table strap, round 1 ends up winning 3-2. The speed and height are going to be deciding factors. Yeah, Devon Gasparini, this is what I also believe, that, and I've said it many times, that this match will be decided on speed. Like if Vitali hits first, if he gets into this position, I am not sure if Alex Kurdecha has the game to go from here to there to beat Vitali. And same goes for Vitali as well. If Vitali ends up in this position in first half second of the match, I am not sure if he can do anything with Alex after that. My mobile phone is showing 0 live. So how many people are live? Can anyone type in the comments? Hello, bro. How are you? You think Levan can beat Dennis left hand? Yes. Right now, of course, for sure. But in 2018, they were supposed to face each other. So in that match, I would have 2019, sorry. In that match, I would have predicted Dennis to win left-handed and Levan to win right-handed. My thoughts for Vitali versus Kurdecha, read that already. Krazi versus Todzilla would be fire. Yeah, it is going to be a long match. Don't forget to like the video. Thank you very much, brother. 3850 live. Dennis Plenkov is saying thank you. Timmy knows all the Europeans. I will soon know all of them as well. Love from Bangladesh. Debabrata Sikder. Thank you very much, brother. In Assam, we pronounce this name as Devvrat, Devajit. Some names are almost similar to that name. PL has to evolve or Igor gonna get smoked on total revenue pay-per-views. Devon versus Siplankov left-handed. Who you got? Could be amazing. Could be amazing. Left-handed right now. I can say Devon. Maybe Devon beats Siplankov, but Dennis can get big in no time if he prepares for a match. Could be interesting. Maybe Dennis can take it very close. Do you think Devon would come for East versus West 3 left-hand match? Engin did say that he will try a left-handed match for Devon. Yeah, because Devon will be out of budget. Engin believes right-handed. Left-handed, I am not sure. Maybe. Depends on how the Levan match goes. Depends on how it goes. It is in June 25th. June, July, August. So less about 1.5 months. No, I don't think Devon is going to be there. Devon likes to prepare, likes to take a long break before a match. Until June 25th, Devon is not going to train left-handed. So 1.5 months, I don't think so. 13 likes. Get the likes up, MFs. Roger Cunningham in the house. Thank you very much, brother. Did you see Tobias Sporong hand grip strength? Yes, 139 kilos it was. I'm always interested in grip strength. I do not have any equipment like that, but I would like to measure where my grip strength is. 139, really good. Maybe I would assume on such equipment, maybe some guys were doing 60 kilos, 65 kilos. I think I can for sure do more than that. Maybe 80, maybe 90 kilos. I'm not so sure. Kurdecha versus Devon. How do you see it? Kurdecha versus Devon. Maybe Devon loses to Kurdecha. I think Kurdecha is going to win that match. Todd and Oleg's love child. My dad wins. Devon's left versus Dennis, king of the table 5. Great match. I watched Vitali's latest practice video and it looks like he's developed a pretty good hook. He's more complete arm wrestler now that, yes, I also watched that video. It was a 30-minute video, Timmy, I guess. I don't remember. I'm watching way too many videos these days. Lagia, I was very disappointed when Engin said he can't afford Devon. Devon always preached his passion for arm wrestling and he said he doesn't care about money. What's that all about? Lagia, I'm going to ask Devon this question in detail when I invite him on his show. Let's see. My assumption, my guess is that Devon is not much worried about taking money from other sources like sponsorships, like YouTube. He doesn't really care much about YouTube. He can earn great money from his YouTube, but he doesn't want to. But when it comes to matches, he chooses and picks the high money matches. This is what I'm assuming. Finally, after figuring out Pradeep flickering screen, I am here. Yes, now I'm live from Zoom. Before that, it was YouTube live. Again, I think I should restart this. Maybe not. 65 viewers. I can see that here. Do you know or can you guess who John Brazing's potential opponent will be, East versus West? Not yet. Engin, some people try to ask Engin, but he was not ready to tell. And I don't, maybe when I ask Engin or some other guys personally, maybe they will answer me, but then it becomes my responsibility not to leak that information. So I don't really ask them for these kind of information because I just have to sit with that. I cannot discuss it with anyone. So better I know it when they announce it publicly. But maybe I should start asking them in advance. So as soon as they announce the match, I already have my videos prepared. So as soon as I hear Engin Terzi announcing that match, I can click publish on my video, which I've already prepared. Maybe I can start doing that. No, Sabdabi, I don't know that. Why Levan is not posting many videos, it would be good to know the preparation is going. Levan was talking about taking a 1-month break, and I think that 1 month is already over. So yes, he should be posting some videos, and he kind of promised everyone that I'm sorry that I haven't been posting much videos. I will start doing that from now. But he didn't post anything after that. Maybe one video. Levan Gasparini with a $2 super chat. Engin is a legend. Todzilla versus Dave Chaffee. He's picking. Okay. America was America. Toddzilla versus Dave. I think it is going to be a bad day for Toddzilla. I think Dave will beat Todd. But Todd is getting better with age, like a fine wine, they say. Pradeep, you should do rankings, many will follow. I have been asked this question many times. I don't think I'm qualified enough to do rankings, or it takes a lot of time. I do not really know all of these guys that much. Of course, I know the top 10 guys, but am I following them enough? Maybe I am. Let's see how that goes. But for now, I don't think it is the right thing for me to do personally. I missed it. When is Day versus Gennady happening? Early part of August. This is what Engin Terzi said. East versus West 3. Cool burn. Cool burn. I saw your name after a very long time. Levan's missing brother. Larry should make 10 matches on every King of the Table. He is richer than Engin, though. I don't really see. I made a few polls on Facebook groups and on my YouTube channel, and everyone found that sweet spot near 5 to 7 matches. This is almost everyone wants to see. About 5 to 6 super matches. I think it is really good. Least 5, maximum 7. This is my personal opinion, and also the opinion of many of other arm wrestling fans. Irakli versus John. I would assume Irakli is going to win that match, because if you're a top roller, if you go sideways with the top roll like that, you can have a bad day against John Brzink. John Brzink does not like posting style top rollers, and all Irakli does at the go is just pack posting style top roll. Maybe Irakli beats John, but that would be interesting. That match needs to happen soon, or if it happens more than a year after now, it won't be close. Irakli would beat John. That's what I think. Okay. Yes, true, Larry can do, but he doesn't need to, in my opinion, in August. Somebody answered already. Thanks, Macro GT5. Jere and Tila just joined eating food after pulling and watching Pradeep. Thank you for your support. Dagya, King of the Tables matchmaking abilities are dimensions below Engin Terzi. Yeah. Right now, they're more focused on popular matches. This is what I'm assuming. But popular matches and close matches is still not a difficult thing to do in arm wrestling right now. Hakis Moro? What does that mean? Morozov? Do you arm wrestle Josh Barker? Right now, no, nobody is near me. But I have my gym set up, and I'm thinking daily that I should start working out again. I haven't lifted a weight in many months. Yes, but when I go home, yes, I do practice for arm wrestling whenever I get somebody near me. I'm ecstatic. Ecstatic. Engin, where was Engin got Toddzilla and Dave together on the new East vs America Power. Prokopchuk versus Oleg Cherkasov. It already happened. Left-handed, I think Prokopchuk won, and right-handed, Oleg Cherkasov won. This is what I believe, if I'm remembering it right. You are doing very well, brother. Most informative arm wrestling channel. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much. Got it. Thanks. Exciting matches. I think Irakli can beat John. Hermes is wrong. What did Hermes say? I think about 5 matches is right. Not many people want to watch 4 hours of arm wrestling. Justin, yes, exactly what I was saying. Hey, Pradeep. Hello, brother Stizzy. Josh Barker. Do you arm wrestle? I think I've answered that. Stizzy, I want Toddzilla versus John before all of this. This match may happen. This match may happen. Leon is bare. I think Hermes said Irakli would beat John. Right. I don't remember. East versus West 2 had a lot of matches, but they were all good. So the time went fast. Yes, I did not notice that because I was doing commentary as well. Maybe I was the lucky one. Maybe all of you didn't get to enjoy as much as me. They didn't waste much time. Yes, the previous East versus West event, the first one, it took a lot of time. I was messaging Engin Terzi, please keep one thing under check, that during slips, during fouls, please instruct the referees to call them to the table as soon as possible, because athletes do like to take rest between these things. How can Hermes say who beat John? Stacey, yeah. That's also right. Timmy Turner, 94 people in the house. Please, thumbs up, guys, please. It really helps a lot. But does it? Everyone keeps on saying that. But is there any proof if it helps or not? Right now, Hermes is saying that he can beat anyone, I think. No, he wouldn't say that he can beat Levan or Dennis. No, not Dennis. Kurdecha or Vitali. With Vitali, he believes he has some chance, but he ranked Dave Chaffee above himself, which was surprising. Pradeep, what about the Derek Bear Smith versus Larry Wheels, future king of the table? Who you got for win? Derek Smith. John versus Toddzilla. What do you think about it? Who is going to win? I think Todd Hutchings will win that match because John can, I think John can still do a can opener on Todd Hutchings outside of straps, but that match I believe will get inside the straps. And after that, it is going to be all Todd Hutchings. This is what I think. But John can definitely get a pin or two on Todd outside of straps, not inside. If it gets inside the straps, I think it is over. Bacon GRZ. Shout out to all the freedom fighters around the world standing up to the tyrannical governments. Now back to arm wrestling. Okay, sounds cool. In the USA, UFC or football games last from 3 to 4 hours anyway. Engin's events was no different. But these are team games. They kind of keep you engaged and occupied more than individual sports. Hermes said that Irakli beats John for sure. Okay, this is what he said. Timmy, what do you mean? I think he meant that Hermes said that Irakli beats John. Devon versus Hermes left-handed. Devon versus Hermes. Devon, I would assume. Yes, Devon for sure, I think. Awesome Arm Wrestling channel. Thank you for all the information. H-Train19. Thank you very much, brother. Hexman. Mindogus versus Alan Zoloev. Now that is a good match. Mindogus 70 kilos, I think. Alan Zoloev 65. Could be interesting. Impossible for me to guess that. I haven't seen enough of their matches with common opponents. John pretty much said no to Hermes because he's a deadly top roller. Yes, John would not want to have a match with. Okay, let's see. The Russian. Do you guys want Artem on the show? He's messaging. Let's see. How do I copy that link? I apologize, guys. Just wait for a little bit. So let me forward that link to Artem. Copy. Sent. Let me read the comments quickly. Pradeep versus Adam Silver needs to happen at King of the Table 5. Yes, this match has been talked about a lot, and it is going to be really difficult for me. I would assume that I would need a lot of training to beat Adam Silver to be on his level, but it is definitely not impossible for me. I think I can do that for sure. I would love to see that match, to be in that match. Prudnik will win because of the age factor. Okay. Prudnik has great posting top roll also, not only hook. And Prudnik may be the third only guy who can beat Todd Hutchings in a hook. And I think, what do you guys think about that? If Todd is not able to beat Prudnik in a hook, maybe there are only 2 guys on the planet who can beat Prudnik in a hook. That would be Levan and Dave Chaffee. Let me see if Artem is waiting. Oh, Artem has already joined. Wait, brother, wait. I need to connect my earphones.
I need to change my name
so that I can listen to you. Can you keep up with the chat for me for a bit?
Yeah, I got you. I can talk about your match against Adam Silver because it's actually great. It's a great match to talk about because you guys are going to be interesting. And from looking at Adam's level, like Adams is not that far, but he beat arm wrestling for sure, and he's probably quite impressive to a person that never really experienced that. But hey, it's a doable match. You can train up. I don't know if you can train up and win that because there is experience gap. It's not that huge in my opinion.
Yes.
But it's doable. It's an interesting match. It's an interesting match for sure.
All right. Welcome, Artem. And I think that if that match goes anywhere near a hook, I'm going to get killed. But I need to keep that match as far away as from the hook as I can. I have to top roll him.
Yeah, the way Adam is built, and yeah, and the way you build and who can get tighter to the table. Yeah. If you talk strategies, you're correct. I think the top roll is the way to go. We can talk about it. We can train you into the whole thing if it really comes to happen.
It can happen at bottom 8. What do you think about the stage? Bottom 8, good for that match?
Right, that's like a next level bottom 8, right? Because kind of a bottom 8 was really an impressive thing that kind of came. I don't think you can ever repeat bottom 8 because it's like the great things like that happen just like once. Because like I cannot believe you can combine 8 different people together in another country, and it's kind of like it's hard to align all the things I think and to make them so organic, and that happened. So yeah, if there was a next level bottom 8, then yes, Pradeep and Adam, it's the match for sure.
Book it, Devon. Somebody please send this clip to Devon Larratt with screen
Oh, hey,
recording.
let's make it better. I think Adam and Devon, since they're already working in the whole core sports and King of the Table, maybe Devon should heavily not give up his rights, perhaps, but he should talk to Adam and they should work on the bottom 8 in Dubai. Maybe they will just have enough budget to like, hey, I know we're paying all these big guys all the money to really come here and enjoy, but hey, we can come up with like this budget for all these dudes that can come and create the show. Hey, that's another income. That's not a bad idea, Pradeep. I believe if Adam and Larry and Devon will entertain that.
And
There's
Dubai is what, like 3-4 hour flight from my home, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and Dubai is like, I mean, I don't know about anywhere else in Europe, but from America is not that expensive to fly. It's more expensive to fly from one state to another than go to Dubai. It's just a flight is long and stuff, but it's doable financially, I think. Like I've entertained the thought many, many times, but it's like as many people have the joke, nobody ever put it properly as like a good material, but I've had it in my head too. Like, why go to Dubai? Like they're just to be the guy, really. But yeah, because I've entertained the thought many times, I know the prices are not that expensive. It's definitely doable.
So I think we should keep this live stream to the chat itself. And Artem, what is your thought about? I'll read 3 comments. Snake90410 is saying, why people overrate Hermes? He's a good puller, but I don't think he's top 5. Then Timmy Turner and Levan Gasparini are saying that Hermes is definitely top 5. So where do you have Hermes?
Well, okay, let's start, I guess, with my opinion on Hermes before the whole YouTube and Hermes being over, 200 pounds and killing everybody and all that shit, right? Hermes always, not always, but if you learn about Hermes back in the days, he was hard in the scene. He was your guy. I don't remember the exact weight class, but I think he was like your WAF champion at like what 225 or 90 kilos, somewhere among those lines. Like his dad is a beast. He is a beast. Both have crazy genetics. Both have crazy big wrists, like him and his dad. Right? He's always been the top guy, like in that category. So he's never been a bum. He's not a nobody, right? It's like right now with the whole YouTube and things escalating and pancakes and hands diets and shit. So like we all moving up. So is Hermes that top 5 in the world in super heavies? No, I probably not. He has. I
So
mean,
who beats
I,
Hermes? Name 5 guys.
well, fuck, I don't know. Put him back in the tournament. Like we kind of over here speculating on them picking and putting matches. Travis Bajan put it to in that perspective to me the best, right? You cannot, like, as he said, you didn't know who was the number one guy 20 years ago. We don't know who is that guy. I mean, we know who's the number one guy now, perhaps, but from 2 to 20, it's 20 of the same dudes. Put them in the tournament. Put those dudes in the tournament just to see if one of them is clearly better than the others, and that's your number two guy at least. So I don't know. Like, I mean, if Hermes goes by everybody one by one, it's kind of hard to find really who can stop him, right? Who stops anybody once you prepare to kill anybody one by one, right? So I don't know. We can kind of pick and choose the names, but in my opinion, at this point, he progressed so much and he actually beaten so many good super heavyweights towards like I would like to see him in the crowd with all of them all together and just see how far he can travel. Like Moldova tournament, in my opinion, was so good at this because you got. I never really looked at it from that perspective, but Moldova was that tournament that kind of combined all of those scary
Yes.
dudes in one classes, and you actually saw where one of them kind of lined up and where the levels kind of are. Like that's where Kurdecha came and like actually like beating people one by one too. Like, all right, like that's a solid, I don't know, kind of judging people by super match performances sometimes a little different than when they do at the table. It's kind of you jumping ahead and all that. I mean, ranking stock. It's always weird to me. But yeah, I think Hermes is there, but where exactly? It's kind of like to. I mean, you can play and predict and stuff, but I don't think it's an accurate conversation.
So since you were mentioning Kurdecha, let's try to quickly knock off these comments as many as we can. Ritesh Nayak is asking Devon versus Kurdecha, your take. He's asking my take. So first I will answer this. I think Kurdecha takes that match for one reason, because Devon's King's move works when he's in a pronated position. And I believe Kurdecha's pronation is strong enough that he is going to turn Devon palm up. And I've never seen Devon do a king's move with palm up. Like Michael Todd used to do that, but I've never seen Devon do that. So my opinion is Kurdecha takes that match. What do you think about it, Artem?
No, no, no. I think Devon have it 6-0. Like you have to be whatever 5-1. Like Devon wins it in Devon's fashion. You have to be a really weird freak to beat Devon, right? You have to be there. Like you cannot be like Hermes and all these dudes, right? They might have a chance, but I think it's only Levon and Levon Vitali, right? All the others guys are kind of like nah. You have to be like more freakish than that. Like Kurdecha, again, Kurdecha is a great guy and definitely strong, but nah, not beating Devon strong.
Okay. Let's try to read some more comments. Todzilla versus Prudnik. I've already said that I think Prudnik is going to win that match because he doesn't only have a hook. Prudnik also has a great kind of posting style top roll.
Right. I kind of wonder what's your reasoning. Like, why exactly Prudnik's winning that match?
Because he has a good top roll. He's fast, he's explosive. And I can see him doing a similar what John Brizing did to Zoloev, a can opener. I can see Prudnik doing a can opener to Todd Hutchings outside of straps, even if that match goes inside a hook.
Right. Right.
Because Prudnik has been doing these can openers against Rustam Babayev and many other guys for years. We have seen him many times roll out of hook. He can easily do that.
Prudnik is extremely versatile, and he's like extremely versatile at a very high level, which is really scary. Like he can do a lot of beautiful things on high level to high different people. So, yeah, I'm maybe not understanding the power again, and I'll have to go and look in different styles and stuff. But as far as arm wrestling goes, yeah, I don't see Todd winning that because Prudnik is actually, as I said, he's mega versatile, which makes him, makes you really dangerous. And, plus it's Prudnik, so he's super smart. So it's kind of like, what's the last time Todd arm wrestled a smart arm wrestler that actually challenged Todd? It did not came there with arrogance and
Zoloev.
egotistical. Huh?
Zoloev.
Yes, and we've seen what happened. Right? So that's kind of like, that's what I'm saying. Like every time Zoloev probably not Hutchings faces somebody that's smart, that's not egotistical, right? These people thinking that they're just so fucking strong they can just blast through Todd, perhaps in his own style, right? Go for that hook, go for the side pressure. I can challenge that, and like, no, you cannot do that unless you're some crazy dude. And right, and Prudnik is not. Prudnik is so smart and so strong at that style. Like he might make it not even look like it's a real match, unless he goes inside.
Yeah. He mentioned, he told Engin that he's ready to go inside even in round 1. He believes that even if he loses that round, he will put enough fatigue on Todd's hand that in later rounds, he will be able to top roll him easily.
Right. But that when it comes hook to hook against Todd, you have to see the way the styles works. And Prudnik style might be that because it's highly pronated. He keeps it nice and high. So yeah, he might have that. Like all these dudes that think they can beat Todd with a conventional style, like kind of supinated hook, it's not working out for them. So yeah, Prudnik is definitely on it. Yeah, Prudnik is a dangerous opponent. Like it's almost like we have to look at this match a little differently. Like if we wanna have Todd as a winner, we kind of have to see and relook at what's perspective Todd should be looking at the match. Like, can Todd just go and like go? Like, I don't think so. I think he has to like. There's got to be some type of like incredible strategy go in place, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, half the time, but I think the strategy have to be there. I think Todd has to think of something to do something.
So Artem, I've been mentioned or I've been brought to many arm wrestling super match discussions like Adam versus me, Rebecca Todd versus me, and one more most popular is that the arm wrestling opinion is mentioning Pradeep versus Aussie arm wrestler for the third place left-handed trophy. How do you see that match going? Because my strength at this point, I believe that nobody knows what I'm going to do because you haven't really seen me arm wrestle. Am I going outside? Am I going inside? So how do you see that match?
I've seen this practice video, the one you sent me with your bro, right? Like that's their first video where you're practicing there. So as far as I don't know. I would like to see both of you guys wait. Like you training something, right? Maybe you should guys participate in some type of like RMPR thing, just just so we know the weight stuff. I don't know. I have not seen anything of Jake's, to be honest, as far as his arm wrestling or training. I believe it's probably there, but I just probably haven't came across to notice it. But as far as the weight, you probably guys close at weight at least, right? Like, what are you like in lightweight, middleweight range?
I am right now, I'm kind of fat. So I'm about 5'10", 5'10 and a half, 179 centimeters, and about 85 kilos, which would be around 187 pounds, I assume. But I'm fat at this weight. My competition weight would be somewhere around 175 max. This is what I think.
Yeah, you're in 180 something, because 176 is 80 kilos.
Yeah, 80 kilos max.
Okay. Yeah, so and Jake looks like he's probably also in the like 150 to 175 ratio, probably.
Jake,
I don't know
is,
how tall is
Jake is around 200 pounds, I believe.
Oh, so he must be tall as fuck, huh?
No, he's the same height, 5'10", 5'10 and a half.
What the hell?
Yeah.
He that jacked? Sorry, Jake. I didn't mean to offend you if I did.
He was over 90. I heard him mention that he was over 90 and he was trying to cut weight and it is really hard for him.
Okay, I guess he's just in such a good shape that I'm assuming he's skinny. He's just
yeah. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to beat him anyways. So I have a super.
That deep is a drop. Got him.
Jake is scared. So Arm wrestling Derek Smith with a super chat. Support for Pradeep. Okay, Artem. Top 3 flowers of Mountain Dew flavor. Sorry.
Top 3 Mountain Dew flavors? Okay.
Yes.
Great question. So starting with number 1, the best flavor that ever came out will probably be Mountain Dew Liberty Brew. Liberty Brew, the blue cans coming out every 4th of July, I think, or something. They're so good. They're so good. I mean, I keep them. I buy like a lot. So the last, but once a year they're coming out with those. Number 1. Number 2. Let's go with the original. Original never gets bad. I'm gonna go with the original Mountain Dew. And number 3. All this limited editions and stuff. I don't know. Number 3 will probably be the one I would like to really. If you go to Speedway gas station there, I don't know there's Speedway over there in California, but I mean 7-Eleven, but Speedways. There is special Mountain Dew in Speedway, I think called Cyclone or Siphon, one of those, like some dark berry flavor. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Applebee's have good limited edition. Yeah, well, it's such a bad question for me. There's not a bad flavor of Mountain Dew that I've ever experienced. They always just go from like less great to like just great. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Liberty Brew is a strong number 1. A lot of stuff comes close, but that's number 1. Original number 2, and pick any berry flavor is number 3.
Keep drinking, Artem. You'll get a sponsorship when you reach 500,000 subscribers, maybe.
Hopefully, I got the fridge here, got the little sign here. We're good to go.
Timmy Turner mentioned it always makes him laugh when people say that 4 times WAF Zloty champion Hermes Gasparini is overrated. He beat 6 times world champion Quickvinia, who just beat Michael Todd, and current WAF champion Arif Artem, and he did it with ease. It looked like Arif wasn't even on his level. So that was, somebody mentioned that, sorry Pradeep, I like you, but Adam Silver is going to kill you. Quite possible. I'm not denying that at all. So let me read some other comments as well.
I like the Timmy Turner is here. The guy won the match against Michael Todd and fucking Gennady.
Can you monitor the chat, Artem, if you find something interesting?
Sure. Let me. I had your YouTube over here. Okay.
Yes, Benji Mac mentioned that Adam Silver is going to kill me. Prudnik flashed, and there were 2 guys. One were saying that his ears hurt when they listen to you, and some other guy said that he likes to listen to Artem very much.
Great, thank you.
I've seen this. When
Artem is an arrogant guy.
Artem, when I'm on my channel, almost everyone, not almost, literally everyone likes me. I get 0 hate comments, but I have to be careful when I go on someone else's channel. Like I immediately start seeing some hate comments. YouTube is a weird place.
It's always like that, and especially with people like comments of who understands who. I have people saying they cannot understand you. I have people saying they cannot understand me. There are people like, I have no problem, guys. So it's like, you cannot trust all these people. And if you're willing to trust them, you're going to lose your mind. Okay. I'm monitoring the chat if I find something interesting. Yeah, I just jump in there. I'm just still, I like to address comments about me when they're like, the guy said that I'm an arrogant guy. I always want to know the details, but there's never details. Salty Matt, hey Pradeep, great job on keeping the videos coming at high quality. Thank you very much, brother. Subscribe to Armwrestling Derek, Levan Gasparini with the link. Thanks, Levan. Please, guys, go to Top Roll King Productions. Subscribe to Artem and subscribe to Derek Smith as well, if you haven't already. I'm sorry, Justin mentioned the newer pinkish Mountain Dew. He is right. The Mountain Dew Spark is really good. It was a Speedway original, and now it's available worldwide everywhere. So Spark is definitely good, but I've drank so much right now, I kind of even forgot about it. Khosravi Diet is asking, where is Akash Kumar? So Akash Kumar is an Indian arm wrestler. You may have seen his YouTube channel, Wrist Hunter. He has around 80,000 subscribers, I think. He is not really uploading anything because he is kind of a guy who only
films training videos and tournament videos. Because of COVID lockdown and everything, there were not many tournaments going on, so he didn't film much. So his channel is kind of taking a bottom hit right now. He isn't uploading much these days. But he can be a good match for many people. You know, Artem, he was supposed to face Sam Pofcher from USA. I believe he was a national champion in 154 or 165, something like that.
Yeah, I know. Sam is my boy. I've pulled with Sam a bunch of times. Sam is as far as America goes. Actually, in America, Sam is like, because Sam is one of those guys that has like the weird dreams of like being the lightweight, like a champion of some kind. And he was there. I don't know if his weight situation has changed or his lifestyle idea has changed, but yeah, he is our solid lightweight guy, which not that many left, right? Like we're talking about this Corey Miller and Giannis matchup, and like I was thinking, like, well, who else if not Corey? And there's not that many guys that really like stand by that weight and actually have the power to represent. So, and Sam was one of those. Sam was a good pick for that match. Sam is a solid, 150, 160 guy. With great win to like Alan Fisher and stuff, and solid dude. Like last time I wrestled Sam, I was impressed by his power, and we had a weight difference.
Okay. I hope Dennis makes a comeback. People are saying. And one more comment, not so positive about you. You want me to read that? I'll skip it then. Deepak Rana. So Akash, we were talking about Akash Kumar. Jeff Frank was trying to set up a match between Akash Kumar and Sam Popsher, and it couldn't happen because Akash was not able to get visa for some reason.
We have to concentrate to understand you both. Oh, shit.
We don't know Hermes is top 5, but I think he's 4 to 6 for sure. Devon Gasparini saying, what does that even mean? He's saying that he's not sure if Hermes is top 5, but he's 4 to 6 for sure.
My man Drew said, you smash 3 grams of mushrooms and you will love listening to my guy Artem. Nothing but love. Hell yeah. My dude.
Big Boar 44. Derek is a great puller, but he has not pulled a semi-top level puller from Europe. I don't think Derek has pulled anyone.
Right. I've said that before. Derek's being on team is that his stepstone, right? And now it's gonna go up from there. And Derek knows that too. Derek is kind of healthy on his own assessment. Like he knows that. So it's coming, right? You know what I mean? Like Derek is. I don't know how much Derek talks about his game, like, I'm the best and all that. But Derek understands that he hasn't gotten the wins and they're coming for him, or he's coming for the wins, I guess, right? If the better way to put it. So, yeah.
So there is a Russian name. I asked his name for once, but I forgot. I think Mikhail, his name is pronounced like that. You see, Pradeep, what Devon has created by avoiding people. Artem and many others believe in him without any proofs.
The guy Michael M said that, right?
Yes. So what do you have to say in response to that?
Can you say what he said?
So he's saying that, can I see what Devon has created by avoiding people? Artem and many others believe in Devon without any proof.
Right, but see, like Michael has like a huge problem is like YouTube and Devon and constantly proving that. Like I've seen Michael's posts all over like Facebook groups and stuff, and they get overly obsessive over like something, in my opinion, is fairly small. And yeah, I mean, I don't take. No, I mean, I appreciate Michael's logic and what he does as far as his like activity in YouTube and comments and his process of thinking. But I think I think the most of the posts and what we're talking about is not that serious, in my opinion. I'm not wasting my time really. That's what I'm really considering, like discussing like all of these little things.
I invited him on the channel once to discuss some things about that he mentioned, but he wasn't really confident in his English. I told him that you write really well, but he said that
Yeah, yeah, his understanding is there, and his logic, as I said, like he has a logic, like he has a sense, he has a process that it just and I agree with it mostly, but sometimes some of the stuff is just too small for me. Like I'm not discussing, a lot of the subject. I mean, you're discussing is something I will really never touch in my channel because they're too in the fantasy world. But I understand that people love that shit. But to me, it's just like I'm not arguing that, in my opinion.
So I got a comment from Village Just Kalinin. Pradeep is going to kick ass when bottom eight is back. Hopefully, brother. Hopefully, I am going to be in. I can only ask. I cannot guarantee, but I think Devon should invite. There are many. Like I'm not. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not being disrespectful towards anyone, but I would say there are a lot of high level, pro level arm wrestlers. When compared to me, I can sell more pay per views than them if I were to
Oh
be
my
in a
god,
match.
you want to talk about that? Jesus. Come on, Pretty. We can talk about that. Actually, since we're here, it's a great subject, and fuck, I'm gonna open that. So I want to hear your opinion. Let me come back to you. So I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm gonna talk to people in the chat. I see we have 144 people. I need yours and you guys' help. So when we talk about those people that cannot sell a pay-per-view, right? And I'm talking about high-level people, perhaps, and there's many of those. And the level changes, right? They're high level, but I guess the window changes. Like we can talk about the guy that I'm pulling, Jason Merlot. Jason, I mean, out of 150 people in this chat, I don't really know how many people realizes who Jason Merlot is. And I don't know how many of those realize his level. But the guy is supposedly like your number one guy at 200 pounds left-handed. The guy is a fucking beast. I have to explain that shit. I don't think that many people will know. So, but that's the guy. Dave Chafee is also the same guy. Top of the food chain in the class. I mean, you don't have to explain everybody who Dave Chafee is, but he doesn't really have a selling ability too. He doesn't have a following. And there are many, many other people like that are at a high level and they have no social media presence, therefore no ability to sell stuff. So the question is, what's the proper term for those guys? Because I like to call them lazy arm wrestlers, but they're perhaps not lazy because it takes level of commitment to get to the level of arm wrestling that you are. Like you're top guy for the reason. But as far as like making a sport bigger, working for the sport, social media, like those guys are like, they're bumps in my opinion. They're like nobodies, right? But it's hard to call them that because they're kind of stars of the sport in different regard. Like if you're talking about Dave Chafee, if you're talking about, I don't know, who else? Like Levan Siganashvili 2 years ago, right? He was still number one guy, but there was no YouTube, right? Those guys are slowly figuring out what's the term for those people that are like high level, but they've done nothing with the social media and they're perhaps losing and stuff. Are they lazy? Are they lame? Are they like, what's the term I can come up with to offend them, but yet to be accurate for them to start doing some stuff? Is there a term?
Artem, I believe that in the super heavyweight, especially if you are top of the food chain, top four, top five, I don't really think you need to be having a selling ability. Like you were talking about, I agree with almost everything you said, except for the Dave Chafee thing. Like if Dave Chafee just talks about, if you record an interview, you did record an interview with Dave Chafee, how many views is it going to get? I'm sure if Dave Chafee gives his statement, his opinion about Devon Larratt versus Levan, I think it is easily going to get 50, 60, 70,000 views. So I think Dave Chafee is at a level high enough that he don't really need to have that selling ability. People would listen to him, I believe.
Yeah, yes and no. Like all those 50, 60,000 is just for Dave being Dave, right? How much further can it go? And that's another thing. You have to reach out to Dave. Dave is not doing none of the stuff that you just said. You have to reach out, you have to talk to him, you have to like, do you want to do this? Dave doesn't want to do that, right? He's not as somebody said, they're not entertainers. And that's what Dave is not. He's not an entertainer for sure. But and another point of that, it's another conversation that those guys don't have to be clowns, but they have to do something, in my opinion. And in my opinion, Dave is not. Like, I see what you're saying. His name is there. His name is kind of there. It's not the same as him and Jason Marlowe, but they're both in the same situation. They're both in the top of the food chain in their class. And they're both actually not doing anything, in my opinion. It just happens to be that Dave's food chain is so much naturally bigger and it's more entertaining because it's super heavyweights. But I see what you're saying. They don't have to do as much as like non-interesting, middleweight guy.
Yes.
But hold on, Drew said they are cellar dwellers. they stay in their basement and just get stronger. Right. So that's what they are. But like, I mean, okay, that's actually it's a great way of putting them. That's a great name for them. Thank you, Drew. That's a great, because it's kind of like, it's exactly what they are. They might don't care about their fame and working for that. I guess thing, in my opinion, it has to be said more aggressively, because it's like, I'll be honest, I am looking down at the people that are way higher level than me as far as strength goes, and they're stronger and they have the power. Like, sometimes they don't even have to work for that as hard, and they're not doing anything with it as far as like YouTube, fame, selling, right? As I said, you don't have to be the clown. You said it perfectly when we talk about Travis. You don't have to work for that monetization. Just work for that subscriber number. If you got those 50,000 subscribers, you don't have to do much. Just have that number there so you can create that better following. So when people trying to sell you to other people, like, oh shit, well, this guy has this many people. You know what I mean? When somebody goes to Larry Wheels and like, hey, we have this guy in America gonna kill everybody, Dave Chafee. He's gonna come and he's gonna destroy you, Levon, and let's say Larry Wheels doesn't know who Dave Chafee is, right? Well, what's Dave's following? Oh, well, Dave doesn't really have a like Instagram, or, you know what I mean? Like, so, well, that's the guy we're gonna. At this point, my point kind of looks weak because those people are still getting matches. 5-10 years from now, you're not going to be able to get a match if you don't have a YouTube channel or following, right? It's 5-10 years from now, people are going to come back to this channel or come back to the video like, yo, bro, Arden was right. Because people are already coming in. I've said that stuff like 8 years ago, and people slowly making this YouTube channel. And I'm not looking down on them, but I'm like, you should have started like whatever.
That's why in every other major sport, we can see all the boxers, elite level boxers, they may not be managing their Instagram pages by themselves, but almost all of them do have an Instagram page. Some of them also have a YouTube page, Facebook, they're uploading on Facebook as well. So I think you're right. We need to every elite, if they cannot do that by themselves, and right now they do not have the money or resources to hire someone, but I think we will get to that level. David was saying that we have to concentrate to understand both of you. It is great, David. We are training your ears and your mind also, concentration power. So Michael, he was saying another great comment. Who do you think Devon will face after loss from Levan, and who do you think he should face? So this was his question. And I have that question noted down for the Devon Larratt interview. So I will ask Devon that question. And Derek Smith with another super chat. Okay, so strong with no social media. Cellar dweller. What is the opposite called? Weak with huge social media.
The opposite called Artem Taranenko from Topple King Productions. That's the fuck. Oh,
I can also be classified there when I have 50,000 subscribers. Weak with huge social media presence.
Right. So, well, no, there's weak with huge social media. It's too long. Yeah, there's got to be a name. There's got to be a better name. But yes, that's also. I mean, who is better for arm wrestling? Weak people with bigger social media presence, or strong people that are cellar dwellers? who benefits arm wrestling most?
Derek, we still have 15-20 minutes left. Why don't you join here? I've given the link in the Facebook group.
Right there. You come in. Let's talk about it. What's up, Todd Ham?
Somebody asked, do I have a better hook or top roll? I would say left-handed hook, right-handed top roll. I do not have any side pressure after my shoulder surgery. Right-handed.
Oh my God, Sasquatch with cellar dwellers.
If Toddzilla wins this match, I'd love to see him versus Derek or him versus Hermes or Krasi. Okay. Dave Chaffee is overrated, somebody's saying. Prudnik is bigger. Ryan Bowen has 144 IQ. I think he did mention that. Big board 44. Pradeep, no one hates, man. I lost that chat suddenly. It was a good comment. Where did that go? Yeah, Pradeep, no one hates you because you aren't biased. Even if you disagree, you do it with respect, even if I disagree. Thank you. Great comment, brother. And someone was saying that MMT gets a lot of hate comments. Justin is saying, even on his own live streams, even a lot directed at Rebecca. I always think you should take that stuff with a grain of salt, but I can see how it could be irritating. Like some of you may be surprised, but even with just 2 years on YouTube, I've got such a thick skin that nothing really bothers me. I think I can say that I haven't read a comment or anything statement about me that bothered me in last 1 year. I would say at least last 6 months. Maybe when RVJ starts abusing these, because that can kind of get under my skin sometimes. But if there are no profanity in it, I'm okay with it. But whatever you want to say about me. How do you deal with hate, Artem?
I mean, I don't really, I go and read. I mean, I've been, as you said, I've been doing not on RMS and stuff, but I've been doing all types of weird internet shit for a long time. I came from graffiti world. Graffiti world is a lot more insane than arm wrestling, because in arm wrestling, the shit talk really comes from facts and something that's very objective. Graffiti world, everybody talks shit to you just because from a subjective perspective, because we talk about art, it's not facts. It's like, yeah, there's some trashy art and you can get shit talk for that, but for the most part it's so subjective, like you cannot even defend yourself because it's like, I don't like this shit. It's not a factual thing. We're talking about an art. So it's like graffiti world and art world is so competitive and it's so subjective, it's insane. So I always been part of all those like negative hater stuff. So I kind of just so choose not to really deal with it. I told you that before. I barely go in comment section, and sometimes I do because you encourage me, and I just kind of read stuff and I forget. Yeah, I mean, if I have to pay attention to every time somebody called me Kermit, or I have peanut butter in my mouth, or my ears are too big, or my fucking teeth, I don't know, I look skinny, or like I don't know, the shit that I've been hearing all my life. Like if I had to pay attention, I'll probably go kill myself at this point, right? Like, why will they leave? Like, everybody said that, like, you should go kill yourself with the way you speak, with the way you look, with the way this and this. Like, if I had to pay attention, I will be dead, right? And not happy. But here I am, drinking Mountain Dews and coffees and shit, and I'm having fun. So yeah, I just don't deal with it. I don't take it as serious as Michael Todd does, perhaps. Definitely not.
All right. Let me read some of the comments, interesting ones. All right. Somebody asked about standard procedure, is asking also, where is Ongarbayev? He retired? So Ongarbayev injured his right shoulder. I think he tore his rotator cuff and he had shoulder surgery a couple of months ago, I would guess. And he's off for at least next 4 months at least. So this is the story about Ongarbayev. And let me read more comments. Kill Switch owns all. Good comment. They are not socially dedicated Artem, or just don't have the know-how like Travis. Okay. Like,
Right,
yeah,
right. I saw it. I saw it.
yeah,
I saw the
like
comment.
let me read more similar comments. Not everyone has a social media compatible personality, like I is saying. Some people are just withdrawn and introverted. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Another comment. Morg, an athlete and a promoter are two different things. Someone could be both, but it shouldn't be a requirement in capital letters, to be professional arm wrestler. That's just a sign of the sport being still young.
Yeah, I agree. It's but who's gonna make the sport older, or who's gonna grow it exactly? If not the guys that already have the power and that following, right? So it's kind of it's just you know no, you don't have to. You definitely don't have to. Nobody has to. But in the same time, if you ask all of those dudes, are you gonna say that all of these guys that are not entertainers gonna tell you that not gonna like the fact that they don't want to leave off arm wrestling, right? Because I get these messages every day, almost like, man, I wish one day I get paid to arm wrestle, but like I want to tell them like, well, what are you doing for it? What have you done today for that goal? You went to the gym, like what's that shit? Like my wife does that. She went to the gym. Like that doesn't help our wrestling grow. Like fucking do something about it. So it's just an honest perspective. If they don't care, if Dave Chaffee could care less and he is happy with working in the correction center or whatever he works, right? If he's happy with his life and his works and he doesn't care about that shit, I don't blame him. I don't want him to. But I just also don't want to ever hear him say, I'm saying Dave Chaffee as an example. I have no problem with Dave Chaffee. I love him. I just happen to pick him as an example of the guy without social media. So don't get me too literal. But if Dave Chaffee ever says like, hey, I want to get paid for arm wrestling, I would like not to work. And then it's like, then I will love to give somebody shit for that. Like, oh, well, you should have done something, right? Yeah. But if you're the guy that perfectly happy with where you're at in life and arm wrestling is a hobby and you could care less about ever getting paid for that, then I'm not talking to you. If you're the guy that thinks you should be getting something for arm wrestling, then you should definitely feel that guilt that I'm throwing out in the world if you're not doing anything, perhaps.
So thank you, Neil Pickup, for the comment and being in our chat. Neil Pickup is saying the super heavyweight division is the signal flare for our sport. It's the first thing that the casual fans often see. However, the matches in actually are often not the most entertaining viewing. So I think it is going to work out, but you will need selling abilities forever. Like no matter how much higher level you reach, or no matter where this sport grows, like you would assume that the world number one boxer in the super heavyweight division would not need any selling abilities. But when we go to, because the sport is so big, but when you go to sprinting, for example, like, do we know actually right now who is the best sprinter in the world after Usain Bolt retired? So maybe even when the sport is real big, as high as Olympic 100-meter sprinting, probably the most popular event in Olympic sport, and we don't really know who is winning that next time or who are the contenders. So I think you need selling abilities no matter how high the sport gets, or no matter how high level of an athlete you are. You will need that.
You either have to be super lucky and have some really good friend or family member that believes in you and does everything for you, or you have to do something and be obvious, regardless of where you're at.
Jason is a killer. Todd Ham is saying Levan Gasparini. Hey Rob, is Rob also there? No, Robert Gould. Okay.
I like Igor's comment. I feel like arm wrestling YouTubers are kind of lazy. Most of the time, you guys just sit and talk world rankings all over again, and not really content creating. No offense, though. It is right. It's right. Like, I mean, not me. I don't talk about rankings, but every time on YouTube, or Facebook, it's kind of what people really want to talk about. That's another thing. That's another thing. A really hard content that requires kind of like maybe preparation and maybe talking about something serious. it doesn't even get the views though. So it's not really that people are being lazy. I mean, the whole thing that we're talking about, it's so new. Like the whole YouTube and arm wrestlers and non-arm wrestlers and cellar dwellers, we establishing it right now. It's something new, realistically. And unfortunately, the circle conversation of rankings and whatever, that's what people want to watch. And so yeah, it's a double-edged sword. I think we as content creators are definitely not perhaps lazy, but we also kind of be just paving that path, right? What was there like so many RMS and news channels before? No, like fuck, we just kind of starting that whole thing. So yeah, there we are kind of lazy, but at the same time, we're also figuring it out. And at the same time, the conversations are kind of results of what people want to talk about.
Wonder Knabe is saying, here we go again. Neil Picker wants to discuss things in Pradeep's live stream chat. Derek Smith explained why he couldn't join. He's going to have a practice and he's still laying in bed. And talking about arm wrestling evolving, we as YouTubers right now, even now, I see that many of the guests, when they are joining, still they don't know when they're joining via Zoom, they should do it in horizontal mode or vertical mode. I've seen YouTubers don't really ask anyone that they should switch to horizontal for better experience for viewers. But right now, like almost all the YouTubers have started utilizing microphones, at least, which is the first basic thing that everyone should do. Forget about the video quality. Audio should be the first priority, in my opinion.
Correct. At least have some headphones just to protect yourself.
Yeah. Haters gonna hate.
Hey,
how many people are live here? How many are live? I cannot really see that. It is
132.
132. So guys, please thumbs up the video, subscribe to Derek Smith, subscribe to Top Roll King Productions. And I think we are going to end it in about 5 minutes from now. Artem, you're saying something.
Well, if I'm going to start saying something, we're not going to end it in 5 minutes. But have you seen Engin's post about all this stuff, older guys pulling other guys and how sport advanced or not? Have anybody talked about that post?
It is one of my favorite topics. So basically what Artem is saying, that Engin mentioned that where are the guys right now who say that arm wrestling has evolved a lot? John Brzezinski is still kicking ass. And I think he mentioned Ron Bath as well. Todd Hutchings is still beating young world champions. So where the arm wrestling has, and I've always said, I've always been a firm believer that arm wrestling is evolving. Right now, the guys are better arm wrestlers and stronger. But I always say that about super heavyweights. I've never said that about lightweights. If you compare the super heavyweights, I believe arm wrestling has evolved. But in the middleweights or even the lightweights, I don't think arm wrestling has evolved that much. So like, I don't think it should be difficult.
You go on this Engin's logic, huh?
Yes. I don't. Can you say that?
No. No.
Artem, the guys that were winning world championships in lightweights 10 years ago, they can still do well in the lightweight division, I believe.
Hey, well, I'm just going off what Engin said and his post and the examples that he provided. That's my problem. If you remember that post that he be talking about, because I got a screenshot of that, he was comparing, John, Todd, and Ron versus the matches that they just had, which is Hadzi, Jordan, and Drop. It's just, it's a funny logic. You guys, you and him can be correct. The examples are terrible. You cannot tell me that, how great John and Todd and Ron are, given those examples, because they look good. It's too biased. Like, let's just remember that all these guys just got beat by other people, like within the last 3 years, and those examples not look that great. Engin is talking about how much arm wrestling not advanced, and he is giving those examples because those guys just came out as winners. I just watched Alan McCabe top roll Todd like 6 times, like he wasn't even there, like in the last 3 years.
Moldova, yeah.
I've seen John getting beat over there too by somebody that's with the same weight class, and Ron is getting beat here in US by people that in the 30-year-old range that are less weight than him. I've seen that. So it's like, it's just such a terrible example. Because I've seen these guys getting beat within the last 3 years of people that are younger. So I can make the opposite of this post, and I can argue it's so much better. Just because it's such a shit starting post. I don't think you guys actually like on the proper path. There's truth to that they're arm wrestling never progressed anywhere, in my opinion, anyway. But it's just that post is so wrong because it's so like the examples that he picked are so great to prove that point, where all I have to do is to pick opposite matches. That's all it is. But yeah, as far as advancing and stuff, I don't know. We can argue about it. I mean, arm wrestling training didn't go anywhere. But yeah, as far as sport, I guess it just depends how good you pick in the matches.
So Ben Young is saying, I thought Neil and Pradeep has a little beef because Neil doesn't want Pradeep on his show. And Neil has answered that as well in the comment section. Let me see what's Neil's answer. Just for clarity, guys, I don't have any beef with Pradeep. If Pradeep has an issue with me, so be it, but no beef from my side. No beef from my side as well, brother. And you can see Neil pick up the legend, the godfather of arm wrestling for the first time on Arm Wrestling News. How are you doing, sir?
I think it says connecting to the audio. Just on my part.
Can you hear me, Neil?
Hey!
Yes, I can hear you, Pradeep. How are you doing?
Yeah. As I was saying that Neil pick up the legend, the godfather of arm wrestling for the first time on Arm Wrestling News. Welcome, sir. No beef at all from my side, either.
No beef at all, mate. I tried winding you up the other week, which I found really funny because I was in my car driving actually a couple of weeks ago, and I stopped at a couple of fast food places. I've been watching my boy play football. So usually my Sundays are always watching my sons play sports of some description. And we were on our way back, and I was listening to you in the car, and we stopped at a place, and I put a comment in and drove on. And then they stopped at another place, and I put another comment. And in between that, you must have thought I was watching just at home or something, and you were getting quite pissed off. So as soon as you did that, it was like my sense of humor. I thought I'm gonna wind him up now. So I didn't put anything on purpose. I thought it was piss funny, but that was just there was no offense intended at all. You want some big news, Pradeep? Guess where I am.
It is a news channel.
Yeah, I'm in the gym, mate. I'm in the freak shop. This is where the magic happens in here, or did happen. Hasn't happened for 6 years, but yeah, that's where I am. I'm just moving some stuff about. I've been talking to Uncle Jonathan Thompson in here this afternoon, going through some bits and bobs with him. So yeah, I just put you on in the background while I was doing some stuff. How are you doing, Artem? Hope you're well, mate. You've got a match with him very soon.
I'm doing great. If Uncle John is the person you talk to daily, I don't think it's a great consultation. You should call me sometimes. I'll help you out.
Hey, I like John a lot. How do I see you guys? Where do I put my? I can't see Artem. Why can't I see Artem?
Press view.
Are we on gallery view, mate, or are we on? What are we on here? Do I adjust that, or do you adjust that, Pradeep? I think I can see Pradeep, but I can't see Artem. I can hear him, but I can't see him.
I think you need to slide to the right side. We are live, and on YouTube, all of us can be seen together. So Neil, that day I was wondering that when I asked you something before that, you typed a comment. It was about 4 lines. I don't remember exactly what it was. Then I asked you a simple 1-word question. Then maybe you started driving. And after that, a few minutes after that, you wrote another 4-line question. And I was wondering why Neil Pickup has time to write 4 lines, but not 1-word question. You may be driving during that time when I asked you a single word question.
Exactly that, mate. I was driving, and I thought I'll just put something in there. And then I drove on, and then we stopped again. I think we went to a Starbucks or something like that, or a Kentucky Fried, trying to grab some lunch, and it was literally in between those things. And then you said you wanted me to answer, and you were getting I could see you were getting a little bit pissed off because you wanted to carry on the conversation. So I thought, ace. I was just having a bit of fun. Sorry if that pissed you off.
No. It didn't piss me off actually, because the one reason that I would love to have a conversation with you, and I've been trying to get on your channel, and I've been trying to get you on my channel, is one simple reason. And I've told you this, I think 2-3 times at least, that how I think about arm wrestling and how you think about arm wrestling are exactly opposite. So there is a lot of opportunity for me to learn from you, because if we keep on talking about with people who have similar thoughts about everything, you're not really going to learn anything. So this is what fascinates me about talking with you, that there is everything that I can learn from you, because right now there is almost nothing similar.
Unless I'm wrong.
But no,
maybe you're right and I'm wrong, mate. Who do you know?
But how many things? Maybe if out of 100 topics, I'm right about 5 related to social media. Maybe there are a couple of topics related to social media and marketing a little bit, maybe presenting videos to the newer audience. Maybe few topics I know more than about you. Then everything is there for me to learn. And Roger Cunningham is saying wizard taters. I don't know what that means. Can you explain
the wizard's tits?
No,
that's what he's saying.
TATERS. So why did
Wizards. Okay. Hi Roger, how you doing, brother? I saw you had Big Derek in the chat. Roger's in the chat. There's probably some others as well. I've just been moving equipment around in here, trying to make it viable. But I've seen a couple of people in the chat. Hope you're all well, guys. But yeah, it's interesting, Pradeep. I didn't know we saw everything differently. You must be like watching the shows that I do and sort of disagreeing with everything. I don't know. I've not really paid a great deal of attention. I know the one thing that we'd seen differently that I was aware of was rules and stuff like that. A lot of the stuff that I don't really go through on my channel, I find it pretty boring, pretty tedious. But I know for the new guys, it's a big thing for people when they come into the sport. But for me, it's quite boring. I've been around that loop so many times. It's like, I don't know. It's one of those things I've done so many times. I'm kind of sick of doing it. So that it's a topic that I've tended to avoid. I'll speak to people at length when I meet them in person on that if they really want to go there. But if there's other stuff that's more interesting, I always tend to focus on that, more match-based stuff and kind of thing.
Yeah, because I talk with Engin a lot. I talk with Devon a lot. So whenever I hear them say something on their YouTube channel, and I'm always like, man, I was thinking the exact same thing. But whenever you are talking or I'm talking with you, it is almost never that way. So this is why
that's weird. Myself and Devon and myself and Engin tend to be aligned on like 99% of the stuff we discuss. Most of the stuff we're on the same page. Pretty much most of the stuff we discuss. I find that I'm on the same page with those guys.
It's the same for me as well, but I don't know why it isn't the same for me. I think we need to talk more about arm wrestling together. And Stacey is saying that Pradeep's accent alone shuts Neil all the way down. Can't compete with that. So Neil cannot compete with Indian accent.
No, I get people say that I've got a strong accent, mate, but you've got a much stronger accent than I have. So yeah, you've got me whipped every day, all day in that. And Artem's got like that crossover accent going on where he's retained the Russian thing, but he's also got a lot of US influence. So it's quite cool.
Yeah, about the accent thing, it is really simple. Whenever you learn English from some other language, you are going to retain that accent forever with you, almost every time. Like I've learned English from Hindi, and in Hindi there are 0 silent words. Like whatever is written, you pronounce that. Like if SEAN, we don't pronounce Sean in it. We will pronounce it seen. WEDNESDAY. In India, we will call it Wednesday, because there are no 0 silent letters in Hindi language, and we learn English from Hindi. So this is why you can find Indian accent weird. And it is almost the same with Russian. A lot of Russian guys and Asian guys, you can see them CHAMPION, champion, PION, pion. Yep. Most of the languages pronounce as they are written. They do not know how to separate them from what actually should be pronounced. So this is the
my
thing
hat can only come up to anyone from any of the other countries that speak English as fluently as you all do, because my command of languages is very poor. I've got some friends within the sport of arm wrestling who speak multiple languages, most notably people like Pascal Girard, who I think he had a pretty solid command of about 6 or 7 languages, which is remarkable, incredibly impressive individual, Pascal, and many others the same. That have multiple proficiency in multiple languages. My ability in languages, my language skills are poor. I know a little bit of English, but that's it. And I think we get lazy in England because we a lot of people speak English, so the necessity to learn other languages has not been as prominent. But it's excellent. Anybody who can speak the language, my hat's off to you guys.
And we have one super chat for you, Neil. AHPHOEI, I don't know how to pronounce that. Neil, is there any way you can be lured out of retirement and start pulling once again?
He's in the gym.
Yeah. You know what? I'm in the gym not for the purpose of arm wrestling, but I'd like to get to a situation where I was doing some kind of training again, just general fitness training. I'd like to get rid of the weight. I'm fat. I weigh probably right now, I think I'm the heaviest I've ever been post-lockdown. I weigh around 110, 111 kilos, which for me is fat as hell, I should be. I'm like 6'1". My frame's not big. So for me to be whatever the hell that works out at, what is it in pounds? 230 pounds, 242 pounds, isn't it? 242. So that's way too big for my frame. I mean, Artem will remember when I was in the 80 kilos, 176, 187 pounds. That's where I should be. So to be the weight I am now is not even approaching 50 years old. It's not acceptable. It's bad. It's bad for my health. It's bad for everything. So
at your height and your frame, 100 kilos still look good on you too. You're solid at 100 kilos too.
I've got a lot of. I'm carrying a lot of fat, mate. I've got like side tits, and they're not good. So, and I'm weak. I don't train. So I need to. It's just the feeling. Just you feel better when you're training. You feel better when you're doing stuff, which I'm not. And you do get excited. Like at the Iron House when we did the show a few weeks ago, it was nice to just literally be around the table, on the table, and sort of a bit of your wishes, although we're running around like nutcases, you ain't got time to do anything like that. I kind of wish you could just go on the practice table and pull, muck about, So there's a lot of me would like to do it. If I could find the time to invest in it, I would love to do that. So in answer to the super chat, I genuinely don't know is the honest answer. If there was something that was worth doing, I would definitely consider it. If I could fit it in, I would. My focus has always been around my sons now. I've been very lucky that I've had a pretty solid career in the sport of arm wrestling, pre-surgeries and so on. I had a long run in the sport where I was able to compete for a long time. And I feel like my boys need that commitment from me now. And so I'm trying to give them the same opportunities. That's really what it's about. If they ever got interested in arm wrestling, touch wood, they loved arm wrestling. My God, that'd be mega. I'd love to do that. And I'm very encouraged by watching things like we saw from Ron and John at weekend. I mean, my God, Toddzilla, not by any means a young man, but so powerful. Great to see guys like that still performing well. And I would like to think that if I did come back, I'm never going to be a world-beating arm wrestler anymore, but I'd like to come back and pull in the sport again at some point if I have the opportunity to do that. So never say never, right? I'm up for it. We'll see.
Neil, you have mentioned you had 3 joint rebuilds. So was all of them in the right arm or left arm also?
No, all in the right arm, mate. I had my first surgery didn't go great. They knew that there was some issues after the first surgery, and the guy said to me afterwards, he said it didn't go exactly as we planned. There were a few things that we didn't expect. You had more damage than we thought, so we're gonna have to do another hit. So they went in and did a second hit on that, which was kind of frustrating because the healing process was longer and a lot of the stuff I had to have done was more significant. So when I got my arm out of the cryo cuff, I got my arm pin fired. It was in a cryo cuff. When that came off, I'll never forget. It had degraded massively. It was in the cryo cuff for about 5 or 6 months. And when it came out of that and they took the frame out, my arm had wasted away enormously because it was static for a long period of time. And I honestly thought at the time, oh shit, I'll never recover from this. I'll never get back. And I did get pulling again. I never pulled really strongly after that, I don't think, but I got to a level, to a decent level, but I was restricted in what I could do. I no longer had the range of technical proficiency that I'd previously had. And then I got going again, and I knew something wasn't right. When I started to do just general training and general, I was losing feeling when I was brushing my teeth and things, or washing my hair, and I would lose feeling in the three fingers on my hand. And they said, oh, don't worry, it's just nerves waking up again, and it'll come back. And I thought, okay. It didn't come back. So after a year, I continued to get this looked at, and they said, okay, we're going to have to do something else. We're going to have to have another look at it. So the last time wasn't as significant a problem, wasn't as significant an operation, but the annoyance was that it set me back again. So I had effectively another sort of 18 months of recovery, and it's a little soul destroying when you have that much time out of action, and it effectively ended my career. It was very frustrating and demotivating, but yeah, there it is.
And guys, not to count anyone out, but when you are around 50 years old, and Neil has mentioned many times that he's a 100% natural athlete, natural arm wrestler. So when you are on stuff, on TRT at least, compared to when you are natural, it is not the same level, not the same ease with which you can make a comeback. It becomes really difficult unless you are enhanced at 50 years. This is what I believe, Neil. And you have also mentioned in the past that at this level in your career, arm wrestling benefits more if you are a promoter / organizer than compared to if you are an athlete. So we need you more as a promoter and organizer compared to as an arm wrestler yourself.
I believe that's the case, mate. Yeah. I mean, I believe that I have more to offer the sport of arm wrestling in the function that I do now. There's a lot of wonderful arm wrestlers out there, many great arm wrestlers coming up. That's good for me because I get it's an honor to watch these guys compete, all the guys around the world, and there are so many guys that deserve so much attention and they don't get it. Magnificent arm wrestlers that don't get the attention, and there's so many of them. It's ridiculous. You can go to places. I can pick any country on earth pretty much where arm wrestling is established, and you will go there and you'll find pockets of excellence, guys with great ability that are just seeking out the experience and the knowledge. It's made easier by the internet. It's made easier by the transference and the communication that we have these days, and that's pushing the level up. So I think arm wrestling's better than it's ever been. I think the residual level is higher than it's ever been. And it's exciting times for the sport. It really is exciting times. And who knows how big it can become. And I'm going to try my very best to push it forward. I've been doing that for over 25 years now. And I'm going to continue to do it best I can. We're doing something different now with Arm Wars. We're showing the sport in a different light, allowing people's characters to be exposed more. And it's a little different to some of the stuff that's going on at the moment. King of the Table doing some good stuff. I hope WAL come back. I hope the rumours aren't true and that PAL are not done and they come back. They're an excellent thing for the sport. All these major promotions can only be a positive thing. They all have their own nuance. They're all little different style, but ultimately it's all arm wrestling and it's beneficial for the sport.
Guys, I'll ask Neil and Artem one more question. But before that, please subscribe to Arm Wars, both of Arm Wars channel. I'll link them in the description once the chat is over. And Devon Gasparini, please, if you can link Neil's channel in the chat. And one last question to both of you. Yes, Artem, you're saying something.
I have a question for Neil.
Sure.
Neil, so question, because you kind of went through the thing a lot of people are going to go through or going through right now, or it's inevitable for them to go through. And that's where you're in that spot where you're getting too many injuries where you can't really, it's demotivating to do something. You want to do something, but your arms just cannot. And then you're going to be like, oh, I have to get the surgery, and getting the surgery also means that something happens with the nerves. You're probably not ever going to come back. And if you're going to come back, you're going to go to the same troubles and hoops and loops. It's a very demotivating situation, as you said. And it's frustrating because it's like you're there, but you're not. So you already went through that. What's your advice for people that are definitely going gonna go through that or going to. I have a couple of friends that literally have to get the surgery and they don't know what to do. So what's your motivation? Should people like find something to enjoy arm wrestling still, focus on promotional part? Do you have an advice for those people? Because everybody either going through the demotivation or, you know, they're there.
I think I think if I could put my experience and my head that I have now into my younger body, I would be in a much better situation. And what I would say on the back of that, mate, is I think most of the issues and most of the frustrations that I had at the time when I took the injuries and were having the surgeries was because you tend in all sports, I think we as competitors, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, a tremendous amount of pressure on yourself, particularly the people who are the most passionate and the most focused about winning. The more sort of naturally competitive you are, for whatever reason, whether that comes through just the natural makeup of the person, maybe their age, a little bit of immaturity, which certainly was the case for me. I think that's for sure. I think if you can step outside of that a little bit and try to depressurize the whole scenario, try to think about where the sport and the winning within it, almost like an opportunity cost of what it means to you in your life. What are the other things? What are the benefits that this gives you versus the detriment that it gives you? And I think in most instances, it comes down to balance, Artem. If you've got a positive balance, I think a lot of the benefits of arm wrestling tend to be overlooked. And the things that I have benefited from and enjoyed most about the sport, if you'd have asked me that when I was 27 years old, and I've said it's a WAF gold medal, it mattered more than anything else. Turns out that was bullshit. Just wasn't true, you know. The real benefit in the sport is the camaraderie, the focus, the fitness, the health, the benefits that gives you. I talked about them a moment ago. You slip off the train, you do fall into other habits which aren't beneficial. They're not life enhancing. Arm wrestling comes with a lot of intangibles, things that are giving you a focus, a drive, a degree of ambition. It's not necessarily about the gold medal. It's about being part of something and having a focus to better yourself. Not everybody's going to be Levan Saganashvili. Not everybody's going to be Engin Terzi. They're just not. They're special individuals. But I think you can always have somewhere to go in arm wrestling. You can have progression. You can have personal goals. And I think those personal goals are extremely important if you can keep that focus on those. One of the things that supermatch arm wrestling definitely affords the sport and affords competitors is a secondary alternative, a second option. So I think people have often asked me, which do you prefer, a super or tournament? The honest answer to that is not one or other. I think both are extremely important. I think a great measuring block is found in either and both. You can go to either one and measure yourself against open forum competition. But if things aren't working out there and it's demotivating you, then look at it, assess it, and maybe look to find super matches, even on a very small basis in your own fucking gym. It doesn't matter. Find them against guys that are around about your level. And I think small victories like that can be extremely motivational and allow you to get all the other benefits that come with the sport. And if I could sort of have my time over again, I would definitely try to keep a focus on that. What I was gaining from the sport as a competitor, the benefits it was giving me as a person. I think now, fair assessment, that's what I've gained from arm wrestling over and above my national, European and world titles. They're great on the day, wonderful to have, but they're not the real goal. The real goal is the journey, the involvement, and everything with it, you know.
Gotcha. Right. Well, thank you for the answer. So I got it. So you're all about proper goals, which gives you proper balance, and depressurizing the situation and looking at it from a perspective of balance. What does it give you versus how much I'm going to put out? Yeah, I like it. I love your answer. Thank you for that.
And Neil, I would like to add something to that Artem's question and your answer to that about injuries. So in 2018, even prior to that, I dislocated my right shoulder many times, sometimes during wrestling.
Pradeep haven't even started a YouTube channel already. There's the injury.
Right. And I was going to gym. I used to work out with my headphones on. My headphones were really tight on my ears. So I like to do muscle ups, sometimes with added weights. So one day my headphones were not charged. I asked my friend to give me his headphones, and those were kind of loose. So I went on, did some muscle ups, then added 10 kilos. I went on to do a muscle up, but that headphone was loose and it fell off my head. And my natural instinct, even though I was in mid of a muscle up, doing muscle up, weighted muscle up, my natural instinct was to catch that headphone. And I kind of fell down and I dislocated my shoulder. It was the only time I could not set it inside the socket myself. So I had to go to hospital. Then I had a surgery, and it has never been the same. It still hurts almost every day during night. I cannot sleep to this side. So then I was wondering, should I train left arm only now? Because my right arm, zero side pressure, I cannot really do anything. Till date, I always curse that doctor who operated my shoulder because he made it worse even before, but it was prior to surgery. Then I started thinking that should I train left arm only? Then I started thinking about YouTube. Man, if I cannot do anything with my right arm, there's still a lot of scope, lot of things that could be done in arm wrestling. For example, YouTube, arm wrestling news, nobody was doing that. So I still believe that even now, there are a lot of things that you can do to support arm wrestling without even putting your elbow on the pad.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I think from a competitive standpoint, we get really ground into that. Everybody talks about the benefit of being a competitor. The reality of the situation is that if arm wrestling continues to grow and grows where everybody wants it to be, the actual competitive number is going to be relatively low compared with the people that are watching and enjoying the sport and being enthusiastic about the sport. That's the reality of things. And ultimately, that's what everybody wants. It's certainly what I want. I think it's what most people want. They want to have a situation where athletes can earn money in the sport. That's something that everybody aspires to, would love to see. There's various routes to that, but I think arm wrestling needs to take a breath and understand at the moment it's a fledgling sport. It isn't in a situation where you can pay big money. That's just the reality of the situation. You can pay money for short term, but you're not going to grow the sport. At the moment, we're looking for more people to be interested in the sport, to have an interest in the sport in order to get where we want it to be. I understand the perspective of the older athletes in there. They're going to take it short term and grab what they can because they are obviously appreciative. They've got a minimal time in the sport at that level. You can't blame them for that. But the reality is that we want the sport to get bigger. And so as a result of that, we got to try and make it grow and not be too aspirational for, okay, pay me a load of money. If that's your thing, probably in the wrong sport. You need to be getting better at golf, snooker, American football, something like that, where there's some real money,
Yeah, I kind of agree. It sometimes disappoints me, even coming from very high level arm wrestlers. I've seen in Facebook groups people mentioning that it is a sad time in the sport. A lot of people in the community talking about arm wrestling, giving their rankings, giving their opinions, who doesn't really know about arm wrestling. And I'm sitting like, it is not a sad time. We want those people to grow in numbers. And I really don't. Yeah.
It's awesome that, some of the rankings that I see, I just find it funny. I just think they're very funny. They bear no resemblance to reality in many ways. There's no real justification for it. All right, Chuck, no worries. Yeah, there's no real justification for it. It's just if people want to get out there and it's motivating people to talk about the sport, then it can't be a bad thing, can it? It can't be a bad thing. It can only be good, So long may that continue. Talk rubbish forever. I don't care. If you're enjoying the sport, get in and do it.
And Nick, did you see that meme on Facebook? And Artem, did you get to see that meme on Facebook? That guy screenshotted Joe Rogan's reaction to a fight, and on top of that, it was written that Dave Chaffee. My reaction when Dave Chaffee climbs in rankings after 3 losses in a row, and Devon Larratt pulls down after 6 wins in a row. We are in a weird place.
Oh yeah, I saw a thing. I saw the rankings the other day. I don't know who puts the rankings together, but I think I was speaking to Mike Todd on the phone very briefly. I had a chat to Mike the other day. just before he was heading off to Malta, I think, the day after. But he was telling me about the rankings, and he said, "Have you seen the rankings?" And he said, "At the moment, I'm full." I said, "What's it done to you? How far have you fallen?" And he said, "Oh, significantly." He said, "But you got," and he read it out, and Dave, I think, was 4 in the rankings of that particular ranking. Which I love Dave, but that makes 0 sense to me. But you know, it doesn't matter. Who gives a damn? It doesn't really matter, does it? You know, ranking on a Monday, different on a Tuesday. Who cares? You know.
Yeah. My final question to you guys.
So to me, I just find that the rankings are kind of rankings are made because like 2 or 3 people, whoever just discussed and decided to make it, right? That's all it is. It's 3 of us can come up with that and just watch other people lose their shit over what we just created, right? It's like, it's not like, I don't know, just like, it's going to take us a couple seconds to make it. And it's going to take those guys weeks to figure it out, how to lose their shit. It's just amazing how it's like. I mean,
it matters, isn't it? Really? It's great, but it matters.
It's super matters, like, to everybody. Yeah.
It's fantastic that it matters, but there's a lot of the time there you got to take a lot of that with a pinch of salt, because the reality is that in most instances, once you get to a certain level, on any given day, a set of criteria can present itself where people will win and lose. You know, I often look at some of the comments sections in arm wrestling, and I've been doing this a while, and I feel I know a little bit about it. And I honestly wish that I was as certain about anything as a lot of them are about everything. You know, I see more gray in arm wrestling and less black and white, if I'm honest. There's a lot of nuance, a lot of points that can change things. So
it's a good way to put it. It's a good way to put it. More grays than black and white.
Okay, let me quickly read a super chat, guys. Z's guitar account is saying, so an Indian, Russian, and English guy walking into a bar.
Yeah.
So
I picked the bar.
Since people are still talking about accents and language, I wanted to mention one thing, and it happens with almost every language. Like when we Indians here, even native English speaking guys butcher English words all the day, Hindi words that have been taken from Hindi, like Karma, karma. You guys pronounce it as karma. It is a Sanskrit word taken from Sanskrit and Hindi word taken into English dictionary. Karm. It is pronounced as karm. A is silent in that. Really? In Sanskrit, it is pronounced as karma, which is different than karma. So it is karm basically. And there are a lot of words like that. And one other word was I was forgetting, but it happens all day long. Like it is kind of difficult to speak different second language, which is not your first language. It is always, your pronunciation is always going to be based on your native language. This is what I think.
Yeah, 100% agree, mate. And like I say, I've learned something there because I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are many words like that. So my final question before we end this stream was first to you, Artem. How many years before the top 5 super heavyweight guys? I'm not saying other guys, other lower weight category top dogs. I'm only talking about super heavyweight guys. How many years before they can make a living out of arm wrestling without even having to hustle on YouTube for hours, like just from brand deals and prize money, contract money?
Oh, well, with the amount of work those guys putting up right now, it will never happen unless you're talking about Devon Larratt guy, right? Like whoever already doing stuff, whoever's already hustling right now, those are the guys that maybe don't have to do that later on. As you said, that number is so important. If Travis Bajan was not chasing that bag right away and he will just focus on the subscribers, eventually he will not have to chase the bag. The bag just comes to him because he got the subscribers. So with the amount of work those guys putting up right now, I will say never. It will never happen for our top super heavyweight guys as of right now, because I don't see the hustle.
And Neil?
I think that it's interesting because one can lead the other. We've seen examples through, history often repeats itself, and there's often, in my experience, a lot of learnings from history that you can try to take if you've got the wherewithal to look hard enough. We've seen a situation with something like bodybuilding where Arnold Schwarzenegger started as an Austrian bodybuilder and ended up as the governor of California and a film star. So, because of that, because of the prominence, it created a different degree of prominence in the field which he was from. You know, you can see examples similar to that throughout history. Not many, but some. And it's interesting to see that if an arm wrestler like Devon, like Travis, was able to get that degree of prominence and carry the sport on their shoulders, I think there's a better chance with Devon doing that than there would be with Travis, just because of the fact that there's a different kind of focus with Devon and with Travis. They're very different men. But if you got a situation where someone like Devon got a degree of prominence which was so significant that it created a wave of interest in the sport, arm wrestling certainly has the elements in there that can attract mass attention, without question. Being presented in the right way, in the right light, can make all the difference in the world. And I think it's just finding that recipe. I wish I had a lot of money to invest in, or people to back what we're doing with Arm Wars, because I genuinely believe that is a very key thing. I think that the extraction of and the right reflection of characters within men. People buy people. They don't buy sports first. They buy people first, character first, and the sport will come second. And I think that's something I've learned in a lot of years. It's taken me to get a real grasp of that, but I genuinely believe passionately that that's the case. I think that people buy character first, sports second. And if we can get the character, enough of these guys into the public psyche, can often be led by one. Maybe that guy's Devon. Maybe it's others. We'll see. It could be game changing, you know, if it draws people in this direction. Right now, there's a great deal of pitfalls. It's a game of snakes and ladders. And sometimes we've been going on ladders and then suddenly we hit a snake. You know, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, guys, we are about to end this, but Neil, I got one more super chat for you. Red Rocket Pig is saying, Neil, Devon said yesterday in a video of his top 3 of all time, he said that you are top 3 of all time due to your knowledge and of on and off table and how you grew arm wrestling.
Wow.
Top 3 arm wrestlers of all time, and he had you on number 3.
I think
John
Todd
number 1.
Hutchings did it with me too. Todd Hutchings also put Neil in top 5 when I asked you for top 5 too.
Yeah. So Devon's list was John number 1, Engin number 2, Neil number 3, and I don't remember who was 4 and 5.
Wow. Firstly, amazing. Thank you for that recognition. My take on that would be that wherever I was sitting in that list, and if people's opinions will vary, I'm sure, and I have every right to. My take on that is that there are so many wonderful arm wrestlers in the world that it's almost an impossible answer. It's a very, very difficult thing to put your finger on. I've just tried my best to do whatever I can do for the sport of arm wrestling. I loved my time as an arm wrestler, as a competitor. I put myself into the sport as deeply as I possibly could, and I've always done that. So for somebody like Devon to make a comment like that is extremely flattering. It's an absolute honor. That's wow. Thank you. Thanks, Devon.
And Neil, do we know that Devon has met Joe Rogan?
I don't know whether they've met. I genuinely don't know. I mean, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? If Devon got on, because Devon's such an engaging character. So that'd be great. The type of people that I think do well and will really captivate audiences are people who have a presence about them, a certain aura about them. How can you not see that in Devon? Devon is the type of character that, with that deeper dive, that expose on the fabric and the fiber of the man, he's a very unique, engaging, incredibly endearing individual. So what better guy? A fabulous arm wrestler, one of the best that we've ever had, one of the most complete we've ever had. No limits, right? And so, from a character perspective, what an unbelievably deep, diverse individual that is. I mean, a giant Canadian Special Forces soldier who's kind of borderline spiritual, kind of borderline weirdo, a little bit nuts, brave as hell, brilliant. Who better? You're going to throw somebody in there. Why not that guy? Why not?
So Joe Rogan uploaded a podcast with Joe Diaz, I think, on 17th of February. And in that podcast, they talked about Devon for about 1.5 minutes, I think. And
Awesome.
Joe didn't really know Devon's name. He said that he met Devon, he shook his hand, and his hand felt him to the biggest hand. His hand felt the biggest hand that Joe has ever touched in his life. And I was wondering what if Joe Rogan met Levan or Dennis, just in case. So Joe was saying that Devon is not just a giant who is really strong, he's also really smart. This is what Joe Rogan was saying about Devon. Right?
Devon's layers, Devon's approach to the sport of arm wrestling, the depth of Devon's character is a huge weapon. When I gave him the title No Limits, there was far more to it than people know. It wasn't just the physical, it was the package. To be no limits, you got to have the package. It came from the Archimedes law. You give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum strong enough, I'll move the world. Well, within the ability to do that in a combat sport, particularly in a combat sport, which is an evolving environment. We see that so many examples. It's an evolving environment. You have to have the ability to evolve yourself. And if one thing that Devon has shown is his willingness to evolve himself, to progress. He is progressive. His thought is constantly moving, constantly evolving. And that's fascinating. It'll be fascinating for a lot of people. And his ability to articulate that journey as well as he clearly can is world-class. And I think that gives people an opportunity for him to take them on a journey and to keep them engaged. Clearly, that's the case. The guy's getting YouTube followers left, right, and centre, and he 100% deserves it. I wish Devon Larratt every success in the world. The guy really, really deserves it.
All right, man. Thanks to our guests. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Artem, so much. I cannot really tell you how much I appreciate you being on my show. And please subscribe to our guest channel, please. And Neil, anything that you would like to add before we leave? And same, Artem.
No, I don't think so, mate. As I say, thanks for having me on the show. All the very best with it. You do a great job with the news bulletins are awesome. I know I use them left, right, and centre. It gives you a great opportunity to catch up on things and to keep yourself abreast of what's current in the sport. It keeps that talking point. It really does, which is, as you said, it's huge. There are so many characters in this sport, and sometimes the characters, whether they're if they're aligned, great. If they're opposite, great. The entertainment that we've got from watching yourself and Ryan go at it with RVJ, it's all constant cycle. It keeps the chat, and they're different characters, but great characters. So, yeah, long may it continue. And as I say, thanks for giving me the voice on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Neil. And Artem, any message for our viewers?
Thanks for having me, Pradeep, once again. It was nice and fun. Nice finally talking to Neil on the same live stream too. That never happened, I don't think. So thanks for everything. It was great. And my final message is to stay positive and test negative.
Right. I am also talking with Neil for the first time, I believe. I think it's right, Neil, right?
Is it? Maybe. Yes. I don't know. Maybe another. I can't remember.
No, I think it is definitely the first time.
I know we've tried to hook it up a few times. I've had a lot of issues with time recently. I've got a few health issues with my family, which are taking my focus right now. But yeah, we tried a couple of times unsuccessfully. But yeah, it's good to finally find a time when it works out. So pleased about that.
Jungwon Lee, I see that him almost every comment section of your videos, Neil. He's saying, keep it up, Pradeep. Thank you very much, brother. And Neil, are you having any live stream today? I heard Bojidar and Kirsten.
The Fixed live tonight. We've got the Fixed crew live tonight. So we'll be going out at 9:30 GMT. So that's 10:30 Central European time. I think it's 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, USA. And if I was going to say anything, it would be purely and simply, please, if you're an arm wrestling fan, get over, check out the new Arm Wars channel. Please subscribe there. We need that. We need the support of the arm wrestling community. So we appreciate that massively. We're trying to do something unique and special. We need your support.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. And I'm going to let you go now. And Neil, your live streams are 3 a.m. for me.
Jeez.
Whenever I'm awake, it is about 1 a.m. Then it goes to 1:30. I couldn't sleep. Then I'm telling myself I better stay awake for 1.5 more hours. And sometimes I end up watching your live streams till 4:30 in the a.m. before I go to bed.
Oh my God, mate. Spare yourself. Just watch it on the record when you get up. That's pretty crazy. You don't need that in your life, mate. You'll be ruined, and your wife will want to kick my head in. So.
All right, man. Thanks. Bye-bye. Won't take much of your time.
Take it easy, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.